Hello, 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 and welcome to Pope John Paul's channel, and this is Napoleon Total War. We are a bit of a change from the Crusader Kings 2 campaign, which will be returning soon, just having a little break. But yeah, today I've got a Napoleon Total War battle for you. And look at these majestic lifeguard foot, just looks so beautiful. And then next to them we have the Semenovsky lifeguard. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but again, look at them. They look a lot more plain compared to the lifeguards over there, but they just look just as fresh. I mean, they are mighty fine. But yes, we have a 2v1 battle, which you may think is unfair, but then if you look at one of the opponents we have, well, one of the players we have here, it's the Ottoman Empire, and they are not the strongest of factions in Napoleon Total War. But they have a huge amount of artillery. This is one of the Ottoman strengths, and probably their only strength is their artillery. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of artillery here, 18-pounder for artillery, and then they have 2 mortars. Let's check out them quickly. Yeah, look at them. Look, tiny little things that will cause so much death and destruction in this battle, I'm sure. But yeah, so we'll quickly check out the armies. We'll go from the far left of the Russian flank. So we've got some hussars, cuirassiers, and some uhlans, the lancers. And we've got all of the Russian Jaegers on this side. And we have a 12-pounder foot artillery that's like getting ready to move forward. Since the Prussians are all over this side, the Russians are going to have to peel around while the Ottomans take them head on. And we've got a long line of musketeers, it seems, here. Yeah, all musketeers. And then grenadiers and the guards in behind, with the general in between. And then we've already checked out most of the Ottoman army, which is mostly artillery, it seems. So we've got the mortars, we've got some camel gunners and all the artillery. The general, looking mighty fine. Where is he? He's probably one of these guys here at the back. Oh no, there he is. That'll be him in the blue. What a magnificent man. Anyway, getting distracted. And then we've got the Nazim Sadet infantry, so they're like their line infantry. They're not the greatest, but they'll hold the line for a bit. Then we've got Janissary Musketeers. Let's have a quick look at them. Yeah, they look pretty fine with all their assorted hats. And then, yeah, more Janissary Musketeers, and then a lot more camel gunners, and more foot artillery, and light infantry over on this side. Just very good. We'll quick check out the Prussians. So they've got musketeers, a lot of musketeers. They look like they're not even in line. They're getting ready to race for that hill, which is going to be the main objective of both these sides, is to take this hill. So I mean, Prussia is a very good force, and definitely very good faction, is definitely able to beat both these sides, both these factions, if it plays it right. So it may seem an unfair battle, but if it can quickly take out the Ottomans with a fresh army, then it should be able to take out the Russians fairly easily. So yeah, musketeers, cuirassiers themselves, they've got light hussars, they've got some very good cav. Some more cuirassiers, they've gone for some really strong cav. Wow. And they've got the 8 light regiments, that's like a guard unit. Quick check out them. They look very nice. Compared to the musketeers, they don't look much different. And then what we got back there, more musketeers, and we've got 2 pieces of 12-pounder artillery and general staff at the back. So anyway, let's get on with the battle and see what happens. So like I said, the Prussians are rushing for this hill. Absolutely sending their cav forward. They're going to try and take the hill. And then what is happening over on this side? We've got Russians are starting to move all their lines forward after realizing the Prussians are just going to run for the hill. And then we've got over here, we've got the Ottomans just also running for the hill with their camel gunners and light infantry, which is a fairly good idea. And then already we've got shells, mortars coming in. Oh, anyone hit? No, no one quite hit yet. Oh god, ripping through. Look at that. That's 12 cuirasses were taken out there, and the carnage ensues. Life hussars are now getting hit, and gosh, cuirasses are getting absolutely pounded, and they're charging straight at the gunners, which is not good for the Ottomans because they are missile cavalry, so these guys are going to get ripped up, but the light infantry are into support. There's going to be a lot of friendly fire here, you imagine. Oh no, they're kind of taking them from a flank now, so there's not going to be as much friendly fire, but they are ripping them up. Look, they're nearly breaking, and the artillery's just coming in like absolute carnage here. So these cuirasses are definitely winning. Tired, concerted casualties, but it's even, winning slightly. Seems that the camels are holding their own, which is surprising. Absolutely surprising. Oh yeah, and missed this, but the Lancers charged across the guns formation, and they got wiped out by the guns, and they're running at 22. Absolutely devastating. And then the Russians brought their cavalry over their hussars, which also lost a couple of men, and the cuirassiers, and they are now saw off the the Prussian cavalry, which is now broken. That's really 25. That's still a fair amount of cuirassiers, and these were all really elite cavalry, which may have been of handy. I feel like the Prussian player just threw them away a bit. They should have just stayed on the hill instead of charging down the other side and seeing off the cavalry. A bit too aggressive. But now the infantry for Prussia has arrived, and they're taking a few casualties from that huge battery over there of the Ottomans. And they've got a great position on the hill, firing onto another hill. And you can see in the distance all of the Russian infantry just coming, and all the Ottomans. And you can probably just imagine being one of these Prussians. It's like, my god, we've got to take down all these men. And they're, while also dodging cannonballs and mortars, and they're just getting absolutely destroyed. It's just well, not piles, but men dropping left, right and centre. Some are getting up, but quite a few are staying down. And now the Prussian player is forming his lines in amongst this village on the hill. And the Ottoman player looks like he's going far right to try and get a flank around this player. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's pulling back now because they're feeling a bit open. But now the Russians are also bringing their cav over to try and go to the far right of the battle and try and get a flank. It's all about getting flanks and getting around the back, and then finding the weak spots. Because if we can get to the general or to this artillery or light infantry, which is light infantry coming up here that you imagine is going to try and push back the cavalry with their long range, who knows? But quite a few reserves here, a lot of Sicilian instruction, which possibly should be on the front line. Musketeers in the reserve. His life infantry must be on the front lines then. Where are his life infantry? They're here on the very far left. They're pretty well defended by these buildings. But I mean, is anyone really defended in this village from the huge Ottoman Grand Battery back there? And even the Russian, I don't even know if the Russian one's got into position yet. Has it even got into position? No, it hasn't. It's still marching forward. But here we go. The Prussians are getting their artillery up, and they're going to respond to the Ottoman fire with their 12-pounders. Though their position is not the greatest, they're going to fire straight into a bit of a hill here. Yeah, can't even see the enemy, but they're going to fire anyway. Good German perseverance there. And I think the player's seen this, and he's getting his cavalry. Yeah, his cavalry. He's getting his artillery hitched back up, and they're going to get right on the hill. And the Russians are still marching forward. Well, I'll say still marching forward. They've just stopped at the foot of this hill, and they've got the Russian Jaegers in behind, which, to be honest, probably not the greatest idea. They probably should be in front.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
But yes, the Russians seem to be fatigued and need to rest because they've marched a long, long way from all over there to get to the battlefield now. But then you look at this. There's all the elite infantry of Russia, the Grenadiers, the Life Guards. You should probably have the Grenadiers in front of the Life Guards, but they're all ready on this flank, and there's nothing here. No infantry. They've just need to charge forward, and there's artillery, and there really should be. And here we go, the Russian player has finally activated the guards and the grenadiers, and they're marching forward to deal with the artillery. Because the Prussian player just doesn't have enough players. Oh gosh, look at that. That huge column that they made in the line there. And then look at this guy, he's just marching through, just like, yep, I'm just going to march through where the artillery just fired through. That's definitely a great idea. But yeah, the Musketeers are taking a pounding. Now the Russian Jaegers are charging forward and going to start skirmishing, it seems. And already... Oh, we missed a charge here, it seems. There was a charge by the Russian cavalry on the Sicilian Suction, it seems, that were on this flank, and the cavalry took a fair few losses. It looks like it was the Russian cavalry. Yes, it was the Russian cavalry taking a fair few losses. Oh, quite a lot of losses here. But I mean, the Russians able to hold on to their cavalry, and they seem to have routed the Suction, and that's a fairly good trade-off then. And now there's Musketeers in behind here to fill in the gap that the Schutzen have made. And already there's firing by... Oh, the lights have now engaged, as have the Sicilian Suction on the hill. And the Musketeers. And they've got the hill, so the Russians just need to get up there and charge. And there is another bomb. But the artillery is just constant. I can't imagine the hell these soldiers are going through. I know they're not real. They're not real soldiers, but still. If you were in a bombardment of this, I would not stand. But I mean, now it's strange that the artillery has unlimbered and they've trying to run away, but Lifeguard foot's coming in. They're gonna get them. Yep, they are. And the Russians really good in melee. They'll definitely rout them, and they're just like that, they're gone. And now they move on to the next one, and the Russians are marching up the hill. They're going for a flanking movement going on here, or they're coming around to support the Ottomans, it seems, with some infantry, while they're also still marching up. They're not actually charging yet. They're charging. They're just right in front of them. Absolute madness. Musketeers taking a lot of 30 odd casualties getting up this hill. Look at that. Littered the hill there is, and the Jaegers are now behind, which is not great because they're now just going to be shooting their comrades in the back. But I mean, already the Sicilian Suction is breaking. They're supposed to be some of the better light infantry for Prussia, and they're not the greatest in melee, but I would have thought they've held a bit longer. And just like that, artillery's still bombarding down, does not care about the positions of its allied infantry. And now in comes the Ottoman line infantry as well to help bulk out the attackers, and the melee ensues. So here we go. Absolute carnage. And then we've got more fighting over here with the more Musketeers. Oh, gutted. And they still look like they're trying to fire while they're fighting. Just a bit. Yeah, they're close. Can't miss. Oh, and there's artillery coming in behind, and mortars probably. And there we go. And the cavalry is coming behind and doing some hammer and anvil. And, yep, just like that. The Russians are also breaking, but so are the Prussians. So, I mean, the Russians have broken majorly on this side. And it does not matter for the Ottomans. They're just firing in behind and breaking everyone. So, yeah, the Musketeers have just held on there. And now they're shooting the retreating Musketeers in the back. And now they're shooting these guys. There's just a lot of carnage and a lot of friendly fire going on in this battle. And all the artillery is now broken. And the guards are now lining up for a shoot down with the Suction. Suction need to retreat so they can use their long range to effect and not be shot with the damaging line fire from the guards and grenadiers. But I mean, look at them. Beautiful Lifeguard foot. I mean, they're taking a lot of casualties. 63 is quite a lot of casualties, which I mean, they've only fought artillery and some Suction, but look at this. Carnage. There's like a lot of Russian dead here, and like very few Prussian dead. I mean, Prussians have done well to cause so many casualties and take so few themselves, even if they have lost their artillery. I mean, though it is looking, well, the battle is done. The Prussians are absolutely done for. As soon as they got there, they're broken through. But I mean, the Russians looking pretty worse for wear. The Ottomans looking not too bad, and the artillery still bombarding the positions, no matter what's up there. I mean, there's no Prussians left alive. They're now causing a lot of friendly fire. So I mean, all that's left is some suction, which are now breaking again, and the general, who's already taken casualties from back there. Wow. General staff. He's not giving up, it seems, as the Prussian player, which I credit. I mean, no, I don't think he's going to win it with the general staff. So I will fast forward the battle now because we are almost done, and it's just a load of chasing down the general. Hussars here trying to chase them down, but they're not going to catch them. They're very tired against a winded general. I think the general is going for the artillery of the Ottomans, which I'm not surprised because they have been a constant pain for him all day, from the very start of the battle to the very end.
The men are fatigued,
Yep,
sir,
okay, we know the men are fatigued. Don't need to know anymore. So the gunners just shoot them there, and that breaks them. And there we go. And I was playing this battle with 2 other subscribers. So I brought the most men to the battle, took the most losses. Oh no, didn't take the most losses. Prussian player took the most losses. Took the most losses on the Allied side, but did cause the most kills for. Well, took the most kills for both players. So I mean, that was fairly good. A Prussian player was outnumbered. Like I said, if he could have quickly beaten the Ottoman player, then he may have stood a chance against the Russian, but it would have been a tough one. So I mean, credit to the Prussian player to agreeing to playing on his own. I wouldn't have wanted to do it, certainly with all the Ottoman bombardment. Let's quickly look at the unit statistics and who's got the most kills. There's my gun didn't get any kills, so wasted time bringing that to the battle. Should have just got another infantry cuirassier or another cavalry. Cuirassiers got 110, that's fairly good. The Hussars got 224, that's excellent. I mean, and they ranked up quite a few times. Grenadiers doing pretty average. Musketeers, quite a lot of Musketeer units doing very well. Grenadiers hardly got into the battle, and were taking on the artillery and then some light infantry, so they're a bit unfortunate. Musketeers, like I've said, did fairly well overall. Russian Jaegers got 1 there, wow, that's not great. And then Simonovsky Life Guard didn't get many, whether they were worth bringing to the battle, and then Uhlans got none because they died so quickly. Whereas the Life Guards, Life Guard fought 69, that's not bad then. That's not bad. So yeah, that's alright. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more Napoleon Total War on the channel, and leave a comment if you do want to, because I'm more than happy to do more Napoleon. It's a great game. So yeah, until the next time, thanks for watching, and see you later.